Hi guys, and welcome to Colony News. I'm here with Commander Garrelak, otherwise known as Mitch Gittleman. Right now, I'm more Commander Garrelak.
Lord, Commander, son.
All right. Well, we'll get into that in a second. First, I want to thank our community, and in particular, Ronan Maximus, for putting together that awesome beta memorial video. I also want to point out some of our mods can drop the link into chat, but we have Glitter Pants, Diva's original mech, on eBay right now. You guys should check that out if you want a piece of DFA history.
Want a piece of me? Oh,
No.
DFA?
No, I never want a piece of you. Thanks for that, and I think we all are kind of wanting to know what is in Garrelak's head as he learns about Beta's death. So let's dive right in. Do you have any guilt that you weren't there, where you weren't in charge of your lance when they lost a member?
Yeah, I do. You could imagine losing a man's a horrible thing, without a doubt. Being absentee and leaving it to Talon, not good, not good. I'm gonna carry this one with me for a while.
And you knew Beta for a while. I mean, Beta wasn't just another mech warrior. I mean, he was
Beta was my man. Beta was my driver for years.
driver, like drove you from place to place.
Yeah. Well, what happened was there was an assassin who came and tried to take me out after that little situation with the space station. Anyway.
Little situation.
Situation.
You
Anyway.
Want to expand?
I made a few enemies. I readily admit. And one day somebody came for me, and just oddly enough, Beta saw it, and he jumped in the line of fire. He took it, and from there, I made him an officer after that. And my driver.
If you save someone's skin, you get promoted, but you have to keep your day job too. That's the way it works.
No. His day job was running the what do they call that? What do they call it with the motor pool?
Oh, okay.
He was running the motor pool. I decided to make him my driver. He was my body man. I kept him with me. He was my assistant. He was my personal.
Would you say protege? Or is that going too far?
No, it's going way too far.
Okay.
Have you met Zveta? Do you think he was in line for command in it?
I haven't had the personal privilege of meeting Beta. I've heard he's now more of a legend than a man.
Well, now.
All right. Well, how about when was the first time that you lost someone in combat? How does that stick with you?
First time I lost somebody in combat? That was in, let's see, my gosh, I was in my early 20s. It was on Hesperus. Yeah, that was bad. I was with the Eridani Light, and we got ambushed. Well, I lost my head, and I wasn't thinking as a lance commander at all. I was just thinking as a lone mech warrior, and I was in the wrong place at the wrong time, and somebody got taken out.
So what's it like to be a mech commander in battle in the periphery or even in the inner sphere? In your experience, what do you think makes the decisions hard or easy? What is there ever an easy day of being a mech commander?
No, I can't say there is an easy day of being a mech commander, that's for sure. You're holding people's lives in your hand. You're trying to fulfill your mission while keeping your team in place and under orders. And I can tell you, mech warriors they're hell. But more to the point, you're always facing judgment calls nonstop. That's the thing about it. Battle would be easy. Combat would be easy. Running a squadron of mechs, a lance of mechs, a company of mechs, all of it would be easy if it wasn't for mech warriors. It's the damn meat inside the metal that's the problem.
But meat is cheap, isn't it?
Meat is cheap, and it doesn't do what you tell it to all the time. That's the problem. Meat comes with brains.
Human error. Is that the term you're looking for?
Yeah, it's like herding cats, I swear. All of them have some sort of cross to bear or axe to grind. They've got their own personal agendas. It's hell, and let's face it, most of them are noble-born, and you know what that's like, trying to deal with them.
The more noble, the more pretentious is usually how it goes.
Less
willing to listen?
I disagree. In my experience, some of the highest nobles that I have ever met are actually the greatest humans I have ever met. It's a true story. These people, one or two, really have their people's best wishes, and it's hard to think that the mech bay is loud today. But anyway, it's very difficult to rule. I will say, having perhaps done a little of it myself, that's another story completely. But heavy is the head that wears the crown.
Okay. Well, as you were saying, some of the most generous people are nobility. Well, here on Death from Above, this is Colony News, by the way, in the middle of our role-playing and tabletop sessions from Death from Above. We're about to move into the tabletop section where you guys as audience members will have the opportunity to buy things both for Lord Commander and the Marauders, as well as for the opposing force, in this case, the Huxian Syndicate. Do you know anything about these pirates that you're going up against?
Not really. They seem relatively organized from what I understand, but they die like anybody.
Good. So the other thing we're doing special or new tonight is that there are actually going to be 2 different links to go to buy things for the Marauders and for the Huxian Syndicate, and there will be 2 different announcements. So immediately you'll be able to hear the difference between a donation that is for the Marauders and one that's against. And there's some pretty cool stuff out there this week that I think will be fun. One of which is you can pay for Bazooka Joe to hack into the Marauders' comm and kind of inspire them with some good music. You can Lord Commander I hear is going to be taking the field. You can activate his special ability to amp up the Marauders. There's a lot of fun things. The Huxians themselves also are a pretty skilled outfit, and they have they're great at getting in and getting out. They're all about stealing things with minimizing casualties to not draw more hate against themselves.
What I don't understand is why you morons would ever buy anything against the Marauders. That makes no sense to me.
Well, I think it's that they have faith in your tactical abilities to overcome any adversity.
Are you suggesting that they're paying to challenge us?
I'm suggesting that they want you to be the best mech commander you can be.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
You can keep that money. You don't need to give them any tips. It's fine. I could get out of here early, head home, have some more meat.
I think you should actually probably give everything you have to the Huxian Syndicate so we can all get out of here and go home and go eat.
Oh, we get to lose more mech warriors that way.
Actually, some of us might have to stay later if that's the case. But
yeah, that's true.
So, moving away from Lord Commander and into Mitch, does Mitch have any experiences he wants to share about beta and permadeath? Which, in case you guys are new to Death from Above and Colony News, we play with our game with something called permadeath. So if a character in our game gets killed, as beta did last week, not only is the character dead, but the actor is actually off the show as well. Adds some real life stakes to the game that's going on.
Yeah, I appreciate permadeath. I think it was a great idea when you and Jordan came up with it with Zach, but this is where I actually regret it, right? Because, you're playing a board game, whatever, somebody dies, something like that. This is different because this is our 13th week of doing this. 2 shows a week up until last week.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of time together to be doing this. And, it's you actually, if you read what AJ wrote about losing his character, losing Beta, and I suggest you look that up if you haven't heard it, it's a very heartfelt thing for him to lose a character. But we lost somebody too, right? Yeah, the Lord Commander lost somebody.
Yeah.
And Mitch feels it, right, for real.
Mm-hmm.
And partly that's because AJ's one of my favorite people in the world. Right?
He's an amazing person. Like, if you guys ever have the chance to talk to AJ,
he's a very talented coder and stuff, and we've made a lot of games together, and we've worked extremely hard together under very adverse conditions. And he means a great deal to me. And the idea that I'm not going to see him twice a week at night or once a week on this show is actually bummed me out.
So, on that note, I was actually really excited. I was told today that he's going to be helping me with the metagame. And
oh, good.
Part of that is I will explain more later, but I'm hoping that he might have a chance to do. I'll bend the rules a little bit. He's not back on DFA, but he could be on Colony News doing some role playing there as a character. I think that's a.
You can beta's log some old ones from years ago. You can bring those up. Put some static over it.
So I'm excited that AJ is going to still be part of the DFA family, as it were, more or less, hopefully, or AJ rather, not Beta.
But I will say it is not easy being on stage tonight without AJ. It's really weird, and there's a hole.
Yeah, I think, and we kind of knew that was going to be the case, kind of planning for tonight, and we purposely put that hole there. And
it's like,
really
no, we're a
could feel
man
it.
down because that's out of respect for AJ, not just Beta. That's for AJ, right? We're not just filling AJ's shoes.
And I mentioned this earlier in chat. Like, I felt really guilty for a few days after I heard.
Oh, dude, let me tell you something. So Gerlach was out of town for this, right? So was Mitch. So, you know, while AJ is taking an AC-20 right to the dome, my wife and I are having a romantic weekend away for our 27th wedding anniversary. And it's like, oh, we got back from this great meal and blah, blah, and we're in this beautiful, really well-appointed little cottage on Puget Sound, surrounded by woods and stuff, and it's really kind of this cool, it's almost like living in a treehouse sort of thing. And we get in there, we're like, oh, isn't that great? Hey, let's see what happened on DFA tonight. And I go to my iPad, I scroll, oh my fucking god, AJ's dead! And she's like, AJ or Beta? I'm like, Beta.
AJ is alive.
Yeah.
Luckily.
What does that mean?
It's resub hype. That is what that is.
Oh, resub hype. All right, rock on.
Way to go, guys. Thanks for resubbing.
Thank you.
If you guys are just tuning in, this is Colony News. It is now in the middle of Death from Above, which runs from 6 to about 10, maybe a little bit later. It is a Battletech role-playing show where we both have a role-playing part. Then we have this Colony News segment where we talk about the show and the game and what's going to happen. We're about to have a really cool fight, which is the second part, where we actually literally destroy 3D printed battle mechs. So,
yeah, if it takes a laser shot, we burn it.
Yeah, and not only that, it's a game that you guys can actually play too through donations, or gratuities rather, as I'm informed to call them. And in this case, there's stuff that you can buy for both the Marauders and also the Op Force. So, and they're cool things that you can buy.
Yeah, buy stuff for the Marauders. That's my recommendation.
Yeah. The Marauders each have their own special ability per character, and some other fun things that are up there. Likewise, the Huxian Syndicate also has some special things that only they can do. So you guys will basically unlock the potential of the Mech Warriors to fight at their hardest tonight, and that's always in your guys' control. So
let's play together. Would you like to play a game?
When you say it like that, I don't know. Anyway, final notes. I think we're close to running out of time here, but so stick with us for that tabletop game.
Please do.
But I think we got some time to talk about BattleTech too. So we are in a new area. We're in the the Rimward Frontier rather, which is a section of the BattleTech universe where it is basically on the edge of where humanity has settled and are on. Like, lots of the universe actually thinks the system that you guys doesn't exist anymore.
That's
it is
right.
fallen off the map.
Yeah, actually, it was. Yeah, I think they said at the end of the third succession war, like, it fell off the map.
Yeah. So I've been really lucky because my job right now is to go through and say, actually, no, it didn't just like disappear. This is what happened.
Yeah.
And so like I'm personally really excited about where you guys are.
No, that's awesome. And that's one of the things that was great about working on the Shadowrun series, which you can find, of course, on Steam right now.
They also often give away Steam keys for the Shadowrun games right here on this channel. So if you guys get subscribers or I think it's every 5 or every 10 subscribers, they give out a key. So.
But what's great about working with a game setting that's been around for 30 years, 30 plus years, is that there's all sorts of really great fiction and source books and all that stuff that's been written by a wide variety of people. So it's a shared universe, started by Nate's dad, but it's gone on for years and years, and a lot of talented people have interacted with it, and now it's our turn to interact with it, and it's kind of an honor, you know. And it was the same thing with Shadowrun, in that we want to make sure to bring out all the good of this stuff and weave our story into established canon without interrupting or disrupting that canon. It's a great challenge, but it's really cool when you pull it off.
It is. It's fun. I've been spending a lot of time writing and then going back, sinking into source books, making sure it doesn't conflict, and actually building off of some hints and stuff that like an author 20 years ago was like, oh yeah, and this guy lived in solitude. It's like, all right, let's explore why. Like,
no, it's really cool.
It's a lot of fun.
And you know, I've been asked many times over the years, specifically about the Shadowrun series. That would be Shadowrun Return, Shadowrun Dragonfall, and Shadowrun Hong Kong available now.
Please just plug all of them. Go ahead.
Screw it, man. I got a job to do. But what's interesting about it is I've been asked many times, is working within such a giant canon, right? Is that like a straitjacket for a writer or a designer? And the answer is absolutely not.
I love it.
It's the opposite. It's like a scaffolding that you that you get to build your house on and stuff.
Absolutely. As I've been working this week in particular in the RimWorld Frontier, it's been fun to like you start out with a few different ideas, and this also works like it's like, okay, I know this bit of history here because of this has been written a lot about. Let's tag something on to attach it to that, and you kind of build out from there as how history all influences each other.
Yeah.
And it start like when you do it right, which I think we are. It feels like it belongs there.
Yeah, that's the idea.
And
it's just a natural. This story, of course, this is a natural story that takes place in BattleTech.
So I'm really excited that we also, in addition to working on that for our BattleTech game, which comes out, that we get to dive into those stories kind of now and play with them and.
Yeah, definitely.
And
somebody in chat mentioned something. Dyrus Nye, forgive me if I'm mispronouncing that. Star Wars became the same way with West End Games. So my friends wrote those supplements and stuff for Star Wars. And what was interesting about it is the Star Wars games. Forgive me, it's not about our stuff, but it's interesting. Some of the stuff they wrote in there actually became canon, and is now in the movies.
Yeah.
I think that's incredibly cool.
It's really, I think, emerging narrative like that, I think is just awesome.
Yeah, it's just nice to be able to contribute to something that's been
someone
around
I saw on chat was asking what we have here. What we have here are a BattleTech novel and a BattleTech sourcebook, which Catalyst was thankfully able to provide us. And we just have them out here because we like BattleTech stuff. So
and not only that, speaking of Catalyst Game Studios, Catalyst Game Labs, our enemy tonight.
Oh, that is true. We should. He is actually the art director for Catalyst Game Labs,
right.
and has been a BattleTech player for years.
If you like the way this looks, blame the bald guy in the next part of our game.
Yeah, who I've informed to be merciless and kill 3 mech warriors. So
let me tell you something. I'm just warning you. We are actually Mason's Marauders is about to go up against one of the best BattleTech players I've ever met.
Yeah, legitimately. Like
yes,
he is a tournament level BattleTech player.
And I am honestly,
yes, the artist. That is who we're talking about.
I am concerned. Brent.
Yes,
yeah.
it is Brent. I have also informed him of all of his special abilities, and some of you guys were nice enough to buy him special custom ammo, which is he literally giggled at when I told him what it does. In case you guys didn't see, what his ammo is going to be able to do is when he shoots someone, they have to make a piloting roll. If they fail, it kind of stuns their mech because it's an electric shock.
Right.
And they can only move or shoot the next turn. So it basically halves their ability to operate.
Yeah.
He only got 6 of those, so they're expensive and hard to, he'll have to choose his shots, but...
Yes. So if you're wondering if this is going to be a hard battle, the answer is this is going to be a hard battle.
Yes. The one saving
I wasn't
grace,
gonna take the battlefield today, but then when I found out that Brent was actually the enemy, I was like, you know what?
You might want to.
I might jump into Occam's hoo-ha and get out there.
Which got a nice new paint job too. So enjoy that.
Delightful.
The other thing, so the one saving grace the Marauders might have is that, for once, their enemy isn't just here to kill them. They have an actual motivation that they want to do on their own.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. If you don't know, I won't tell you.
All right, I can't wait to find out what's going on. That's part of the fun. Tyler doesn't tell me all that much. He and I have worked out a lot of stuff with you about overarching what we want to do, but they actually do keep a lot of plot stuff from me.
Yeah.
It's more fun that way.
I think so. I like
Yes, Occam's hoo-ha. That's what I said.
Oh yeah, someone Chad is reminding me, Ozai, that this is not the end of the universe. There's another section that is still occupied. That's true. People won't really be aware of that for another about 20 to 30 years when they become violently aware that there's another.
They're gonna find out.
There's another occupied place.
Yeah.
So that is true. One of the things that's great about BattleTech, if you guys are just getting into it, is that there are actually, as it's been around for 30 years, there are actually about 30 years of actually more than that of history of the BattleTech universe as it's been recreated and reproduced from this 3025 era to the clan invasions to Dark Age. There's a good 150 years of BattleTech. You don't have to worry about that. Just come on and enjoy the show. We'll fill you in as needed.
Yeah, we'll fill you in. And also, if you're interested in learning more about BattleTech, interacting with other BattleTech fans, and hearing about Harebrained Schemes' BattleTech game that we're developing now and will be out next year, you can go to, kids, BattleTechGame.com. Thank you for reminding me to plug that stuff.
You were going to get to it.
I sure was going to get to it.
So, if you guys are just showing up, again, I want to tell you that this is Death from Above.
Death from Above! Just trying to support you, man.
Oh, okay. This is Death from Above.
Death from Above! Still supporting you.
Still so supported. we blow up not life size. We blow up very.
That would be cool, wouldn't it?
God,
That
it
would be
would.
badass. Listen, with your tips, we can build full-scale battle
with
mechs.
your tips and Jordan's craziness.
Yeah.
Oh, my
yeah.
God! Do not recommend that to Jordan.
Too late. It's he watches every show, so this could be really bad.
This is bad.
And what is my role in the studio? To try and control Jordan. And you'll notice I have failed at every turn.
It's true. I don't know if it was you. I think it was you at one point in my dad's career. We were all out to dinner, and you described your job as Jordan goes, "Let's make a pig fly," and then you go, "Okay, I'll figure out how."
Yeah, that's fair. All right, hang on. I'll figure out. I think I actually said it in the Lord Commander's voice. That's back when I was just doing it. Yeah, all right, I'll figure out how. Just give me a minute.
No, Jordan can't be controlled. He is a force of nature.
It is true.
The best you can do is kind of hold on and hope that you land someplace
Yeah,
safe.
it's nice. He's the Lord of Chaos, and I try desperately to wear the mantle of the Lord of Law, but there's so much chaos within me too that I'm just a fuck up, and that's all there is.
Yeah. Okay. Back on track. This is Death from Above.
Oh, that's true. Death from above. I missed my cue.
Yeah. I was waiting for it this time
All
too.
right.
This particular segment is Colony News. This takes place in between a role-playing segment, which happened earlier tonight, and an awesome tabletop segment, which is about to happen.
With battle mechs
That aren't
big.
life-size.
They are not life-size yet. Well, if you're an ant, they're like, oh my god, look at. I'm just
the children
rolling
in the
that.
school
I'm just-
system.
Yes. Yeah. I once said that. Did I ever tell you this story? Sorry. Do we have time to fill? I got a
We're
quick
gonna
story.
keep going until people come out and tell
Screw
us
it,
to
fine.
stop.
Once upon a time, I was at Microsoft Game Studios, and I had to give a demo for Mech Commander 2. And, when you're with Microsoft, you have to rehearse in front of a room full of PR people and stuff. And this is for something called GameStock, like Woodstock. And it was me and Chris Taylor and some other people that they were trying to turn into rock stars. That worked like a charm, because, when you think game developer, rock star. So I'm out there and I've got my cool microphone on, kind of like Lance Bass or something like that. And I'm doing the pitch and stuff for Mech Commander 2, and I said, this mech is so powerful, it'll shoot through schools. And all the PR people stand up like, no. And my boss goes, he's kidding, he's not gonna say that, sit down. But there was that moment, like, it can't be that way in the newspapers, it won't. And I did it anyway.
We could just
just said wrap it up. Sorry for the story. I hope you don't mind.
So wrapping it up real fast, there was a question. What was the last thing Jordan had to say no to? It was actually Zach, and I backed him up a little bit, but it was about glitter on Talon's mech.
Yeah.
Jordan really at first was like, I don't know if that's a good idea, and we were like, yes it is. And now he doesn't question things as much. So.
No, he doesn't. There's plenty more Jordan stories we could tell. I think we could do an entire Colony News.
I think we could, but that is all the time we have this time. So guys, thanks for hanging out with us. Glad that you were able to come by and right back into the action.
Yeah, Lance Bass was the only name I could come up with. Yeah, Daddy Buzz, the internet hates you. All right, I'll see you on Death from Above. What was that name?
Death from Above!